this is Amaya and you're with Amaya's Charms. Today, in this video, we're going to organize my pantry. I have an open shelf pantry. It's in a reasonable size. So this is how I've organized. It's in a pretty good state, but there are things that doesn't belong in the right place. So I just need to do a bit of a deep clean, which I haven't done for a couple of months. So these shelves, they're a little bit dusty. So I'm gonna clean this and then put the things where it belongs to. And I have to refill some of my jars. So I'm gonna do that today, and I thought I'll walk you through with this journey. So let's roll on. One above. Okay, so now I've emptied this side of the shelf. Now I'm moving to this. Gonna clean the shelves. So there's a lot of dust. Not a lot, but there are some dust. Dusting, it's time to do a deep clean. So I'm using an all-purpose cleaner. This is my favorite in the Method brand. So I'm just spraying a few sprays and then wiping the shelves so that there's nothing, dirt or no marks left. So giving it a very good clean. Even the edges. Now we are gonna put back everything. So the most upper shelves are gonna contain the items where we used less frequently. So I've got some Christmas plates that I only take it out, like side plates during Christmas. I'm gonna use these, a shelf riser, and then put the Christmas plates at the very top. And my electric wok, I don't use unless we have guests, so we're gonna put that. Nice. Then the sandwich press, oops, will go in this shelf because we use this once a week. Also, remember. This side top shelf, I'm gonna use again some shelf risers because we have plenty of shelf risers in my house. And then I'll put the tissue boxes there. It's okay to have some empty space. Next, I've got my 3-tier can organizer. So this is where we have our canned goods. So this side, we have my coconut cream and coconut milk. Some of the jackfruit tins, because that's how we receive jackfruit, as in polos. Then the other side, I've got the beans and other things. So try to put the similar items together so that you know how much you have everything. So we buy coconut milk in bulk, like 24 cans or 12 cans at one purchase. But when we are buying these kind of goods, we try to buy whatever the amount of cans that fit inside this space so that we're not overloaded with our space. So that's it at the moment. Next, I'm going to refill my things. So these are those Moccona jars that I have recycled and used for lentils, flour, various kind of flour. So it's just you're recycling your jars. And this is again, I think it's a coconut milk jar that I've got.
Coconut oil.
Oh, sorry, coconut oil jar. Yes, that's right. So we are using that for mung beans. And this is called flattened rice, poha in Hindi, flattened rice, and Habalapeti in our language. So the jars goes here, and as you can see, I've used a white chalkboard pen to write what's inside. Although you can see what's inside, but I'll just write it so that if you don't want this for this particular thing, so you just wipe it off and then write whatever. And these are those Derana products that we get to Australia. I'm sure they ship to other countries as well. So I've just recycled those jars and use it for various things. Next, this is where I keep my onions and potatoes. So I've got a little helper doing this. So that's where I put potatoes. These are like iCare. This is, I don't know what's the name. This is from iCare. So it's, because it's this mesh basket, it just keeps these products nice and fresh. Here. So when I put the onion basket here, I just leave a paper towel because the onion skin cannot come out, so it's easy for me to clean. So I just keep that. Next is the condiments that are not kept in the fridge. So I have a lazy Susan because that's spicier. Don't drink it. So we'll have the condiments over here. The bottom shelf is from all my rice, so we'll have the rice buckets here. These are the roller tubs from Kmart. I bought it for $10. I think they have increased the price now. I think it's $12. So these are for various types of rice that we eat. So that shelf is pretty much done. Moving on to next. So these are again the extra biscuits, cookies, or anything chips that comes in huge crackers that I labeled here, like that. So I've used an IKEA Barriera tub. I think that's what it's called. A big one. So to contain everything and have it over here. I think I've got 2 of that. So when organizing a space, it's good time to go through each and every thing that you have, and A, you can clean that, and B, you can get rid of so many things that sometimes you might come across with expired things, or no longer you use those things. So those kind of things you can get rid of it. So here I'm just cleaning up this tub and then going through what we have. So these are like chocolates that we receive. We don't buy chocolate, but these are things that we receive. So we have that. This is pretty much like the sweet things that we have. So this is, I can put this in the cereal and some chips. So these kind of bags, if you can put it into one container and categorize what you have, it will be very less messy. And if you want, you can label what you have here because they're sort of categorized. I don't have to, but in case. So here we have, this is our papadum storage area. Papadum and white chilies, that's where we store here. And here, these are I think Kmart tubs. They're very similar to IKEA Variana tubs. And here we have extra nuts. So I'll just have it here. Then the next shelf, I have lots of jars here. So I use a shelf riser to double up the space, and then we'll put things together. So these are this is like a nut bar. So we have some nuts to eat. So again, as you can see, I've used those Verana jars and recycled it and used the chalk pen to write what we want. So what is less frequently used can go back and the rest can come to the front. Oh, and this is lundahi that I made, like a lime pickle that I made years ago. So a long time ago, when we didn't have those jars, I used to recycle. These are the Greek yogurt tubs. So I used to clean up the, see it says, the yogurt, clean up and use these. And because it has the green lid, I thought it's very consistent, like similar looking and looks nice. But now I think I have enough and more these kind of jars. I'm gonna transfer these into this jar so that it's much nicer looking, because when things are in similar shape, it looks really nice and pretty. So junk drawer. So this is fennel seeds, maduru. in Sinhala. I will write it in Sinhala. This is going to be messy. I think I need a spoon to do this. Spoon back in for it. Okay, I think I have a cauliflower. And whenever I deep fry dry fish, as in karavala, I would just deep fry like a lot and keep it in here and just use whatever amount that is necessary for that couple of meals. So I need to do this. And I'll leave the empty glass bottles here in case if I need something. Okay, so this one has a gold color lid, which is not very beautiful. It's not aesthetically pleasing, so I'll put it in the back. When I get another jar, I will replace it with the lid. So these are like olive jars that we've recycled. So we've got some tall jars. That's actually his area, like the lolly bar. He doesn't eat lollies every day. Only during the weekend he gets one lolly after a meal.
Not every meal.
Not every meal.
Just lunch and dinner.
Let's just lunch and dinner. You all know how much I love the Lazy Susans, so I'm utilizing the whole shelf here to have things on the Lazy Susan, because you can store lots of items on this. Don't touch it on there. So here I've done all the other things here. And the last Lazy Susan is for my homemade spices. So I have biryani masala, some chicken curry powder, some spice mix to make the chai, some roasted curry powder. And some garam masala. So these are again the jars that are recycled from various things. This is like a jam jar that we used. These are like Indian curry, some kind of a curry. These are like pickled gherkins. So you get various kinds of jars. There's no jar here that I've purchased, so I haven't spent any money on purchasing the glass bottles, just recycling whatever we use at home. So throughout the years that we've collected all these jars. Items here. So here I use a big tub here to put things. So these are like refills that I'm using here. So like oil. Here, that's the coconut oil. Noodles. And some like backstock items. This tub is to store our drinks. Yeah. The last shelf is like all the backstock items. So let me show you this. So here, these are like all the spices that we buy in bulk, and anything that can't go in any of these jars will get into this bucket. So they're like backstock items. This is mainly like noodles, pasta. That's what we have here. This has all the dry fish. Those kind of dry fish. Because they're smelly, so I keep it in the airtight bucket. And these are again spices. So we've done the pantry. So as you see, I've got some empty spaces here. We don't put up there the things that we don't use very frequently. Then here all the canned goods, this side coconut milk and polos. Here the other cans that we use. Most of the items that come to our house in a package, I would put it into a jar, so that's easy for us to identify what's there and what stock is left, and easy to use. Then here onion, potatoes and other condiments that's not kept in the fridge. Bottom shelf, all the rice. So we've got basmati, samba, like Sri Lankan rice, and then jasmine rice for kiribat, and red roux rice. Then moving to this side, they're all the back stock, like the refills. Here, then here, the drinks, and again some back stock is like oil and passata and other things, any noodles, and that can go here. These are the lazy susans. I'll link up another video that how to make your own lazy susan, and what are the things that I do with lazy susan throughout my house, just not in the pantry. Here again, lots of jars that I've used so that I can see what's needed, and then some tubs for like big items like chips, other snacks, some sweets, and any nuts refilled. And the top shelf pretty much empty, uses to store the tissue boxes here. So that's my pantry. I know that most of the people don't have this space. Yes, I never had this space before. We used to, our previous house, we only had this much of a cupboard in the kitchen area, so it's not even a pantry separately, this much of a cupboard like with the doors. I'll try to find a photo of that and try to attach to the video if I can. So it wasn't all this space that I had, and the houses before that, they were units, so they were very tight, so I had to deal with that. Obviously I didn't have the space to keep this this way, but there are a few ways that you can organize a tight space, just not this way. So yes, it is a dream come true for us to have this pantry. Especially I love this. This is what I wanted, and now I've kept it in the way that I want. So that's it for today's video. I hope you've gained bits and pieces to organize your pantry or your spaces. It might not necessarily be the same thing, but if you've got some tips to use up your space in a more efficient and effective way, that's my motive for the day. So thank you for watching my video. Please consider pressing the like button and subscribing if you like my channel. That means a lot to me. Until I see you next time. Bye bye.